that you didn't see in week 1 and 2. There's a reason for that. The Master's Hammer and Chisel is based on the SSP training model. That's stabilization, strength, and power. We don't give you all 3 in the first week. You have to build stabilization before you can move on to strength, and you have to build strength before you can move on to power. So, you are in the stabilization phase in phase 1. Trust the process. Know that Sagi and I are not going to let you off the hook very easily, and appreciate that week 1 didn't kill you. Because I promise, by week 3, it will. But also, don't be afraid to step your weights up a little bit. Like, you guys, let me be honest with you. Like, we wrote the workout. Sagi and I wrote the workout. I've done these workouts a million times. I went into the gym the other morning, and it was hammer plyometrics. I was like, yeah, hammer plyometrics. It's like a 22-minute workout. Like, I'm going to be in and out the door, right? Like, I was stoked that it was a hammer plyometric day because it was 5 in the morning and I did not want to be there doing it. But that being said, for 22 minutes, I was going to push myself. At home, I don't have a pull-up bar at my house in my gym, but I was at the gym doing a workout where I actually have a pull-up bar. Oh my God. I was like this. I was like, burpee pull-ups? Who is Satan? Like, I literally was like, I'm going to yak. Here comes the Energize. I went into work later that day. I looked at Stephanie Saunders, who I write the workout with. Kids in the room, block ears. I looked at her and I was like, yeah. I was like, we are cold. I was like, that workout sucked. So, if it's killing me and I wrote the program and I do the program, step it up, because you got to push yourself no matter what the exercises are. Woo! Time for like 2 more. Oh, we have a microphone. Yay. It's not on.
It's dead.
It's okay, I can hear you.
Okay, so can we do the countdown to competition plan the last 3 weeks of Hammer and Chisel, or is that too much?
You don't need to. You don't need to. Don't bother. 1, you don't need to. If we wanted it in there, we would have put it in there. But 2, again, these workouts, they're intense. You have to fuel your body. And not that you're not fueling your body with Countdown to Competition, but how many people in here have done the Countdown to Competition plan?
It's so amazing.
Yeah, it's brutal. Like, it's a lot of asparagus. A lot of asparagus and coconut oil, and you don't need it. I promise you, by day 40, you're going to look in the mirror and you're already going to be 3/4 of the way there. You're going to be shredded. You're going to be like, I don't need to count down a competition. I'm going to keep fueling my face with sweet potatoes. So just follow the nutrition plan the way we learned it. Yes?
Can you recommend an age group? I have teenage boys that are kind of 13 and 15. Is that too young? Pretty athletic and want to start doing it, but I don't know if the weight.
Here's the thing. 13 is a little young to start lifting weights. You don't want to stunt their growth, and lifting weights that messes with your growth plates. So I usually recommend waiting until they're about 15 or 16 and have that last kind of final growth spurt. Not to mention at 13, our coordination is still not 100%, and you want to make sure they're doing it with really proper form. So I usually say 16 and up. It's not that I don't, if they're going to do it at 13, make sure they're using really light weights. The last thing you want is an injury at 13 that kind of lasts the rest of your life. Okay. Yeah. I would, not that he can't, like, pull-ups, great as gymnast, he can probably do pull-ups for days. I hate him already. Just, if he does the weights, go easy. They don't need to be crazy heavy. Let him get a few years older.
So you would say like
16 is usually a better age to start lifting. I will do one more. What do you got for me?
So I also have a 13-year-old working out with me, and I guess I was wondering, as far as the portion control containers are concerned, is there any adjustment I should make for his portion control system?
So here's the deal. I get this question a lot when it comes to kids and the container system. You have to check with a pediatrician first, because kids' needs are just different than ours. They're still growing. It also depends on just how active your child is. Like, my son does not sit still ever. and the kid literally out-eats me, but probably out-eats his dad, who's like 200. It's ridiculous. I'm like, you're eating me out of house and home, you're 7. But the bottom line is, you can check with the pediatrician about how many calories a day your child should be eating. Once you know how many calories the pediatrician recommends, you use the container system the exact same way. Portions are portions are portions. 1 serving of protein is 1 serving of protein. They don't need to have 3 red containers on a plate unless, you know, again, growing high school boy, 16 years old on the football team would probably eat more than 1 red serving at a time. But always check with the pediatrician first, and then you can use the container system based on what they tell you.
That's great.
So I have a question about the maternity breakouts. For the postnatal, is that like after the 6 weeks?
The postnatal is for after your doctor clears you.
Okay.
So everybody's different depending on what kind of labor and delivery you had, depending on what kind of shape you are in. I was cleared 2 weeks after I had my C-section. But that's
wow.
I wasn't going to sit still. So
wow. Not me.
But you know,
I had natural childbirth and I was not ready.
I wasn't going to do anything that was going to hurt myself. So you need to get clearance from your doctor to start working out again, and then definitely you can start the postnatal series from there. Okay, last one for real, because I see the eye glaring at me.
How many days a week do you do the ab workouts for hammer and chisel?
How many days a week do we do the ab workouts for hammer and chisel? Oh my god, I'm going to get busted on my own program right now. I don't know how many days a week it's written into the calendar, because I look at the calendar. I want to say it's on there at least once a week, but maybe twice towards the end. But you can do it 2 to 3 times a week if you want to throw abs in there. There's nothing wrong with that. But every day, you don't need it every day. You don't even realize it, but you're working your abs every day anyways. Every time you do a pull-up, every time you do a bend over row, every time you squat, you should be holding your abs in and doing an isometric hold. So you can do the ab workouts like 3 times a week, even if they're not written into the calendar. All right, you guys, that was my, I'm sorry, boss man. Me.
Is there a compelling reason that people should still consider getting people involved in the Masters Challenge before Monday?
Yes. Yes, there is a compelling reason, you guys. So as you know, Beachbody, Carl, myself, Sagi, we've all jumped on the charity, the Upward Bound House, getting homeless families off of the street. So for
amazing.
Every 1,000 kits that we sell of the Masters Hammer and Chisel, that's $5,000 that gets donated to the Upward Bound House. That's one family that gets off of the street for an entire year. Those families usually include at least 2 children. That's housing, it's food, it's schooling, it's tutoring if the kids need it. That promotion was supposed to go through December. Carl generously extended it, and then generously extended it again. He's also added in, so it's $5 basically that's donated for every hammer and chisel kit that we sell. However, if you include BOD membership, Beachbody On Demand, with that, that's another $5. So if you buy hammer and chisel and sign up for Beachbody On Demand, it's $10 being donated. We're at 115 families we've gotten off the streets for a year so far.
Yes! Yes!
This is going to be Monday. That's an amazing job. That's with everybody's help. But hopefully by Monday we can still get at least another 5 or 10 families. So if you know somebody who's got a goal, who's looking for a program to do, not only will they be helping themselves, but they will be helping a family have a wonderful 2016. So thank you again for having me. It's been awesome to be back in Chicago. Enjoy the rest of your Super Saturday, and I will see a bunch of you guys on the cruise and at Summit. And thank you.
All of you rock!
Really quick before we speak out, Carl and Autumn, if you wouldn't mind sitting right in the center here, we're going to do a panoramic picture to capture everybody in the room.
Nice.
Okay, so put your best smile on.
I guess we just stand back here.
If I can't see you, you can't see me. So if you're around the corner, people in the back, if you want to stand up, we're going to do this real quick.
All right, say cheese, Chicago!
Cheers, Chicago!
Say it again. Miss me. I'm back.